G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here once again, back at it. It's finally time to get back into some 1v1s. I've been enjoying the 1v1s lately. I haven't actually jumped on the ladder and played any yet, but I've been watching a few. I'm still getting up to date with the meta, and I'm excited about this game. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Spawning in on the north side of the map in the color purple, as is obligatory when playing the Byzantines, it's our Chinese friend. And on the south side of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, it's Divine 2. He's got a second account. I guess you could call it a Smurf account, though. You know, I think alternate account is probably a better term, because I've seen some people like posting in the comments. I saw somebody on, I think it was on Reddit, they got kind of mad at me because I was playing on an alternate account. I was like, well, brother, my alternate account is ranked as high, if not higher, than my main account. It's just a second account to play on. It's an account to test stuff with, to feel, you know, maybe you're platinum and you play Holy Roman Empire and you love Holy Roman Empire, but you want to start giving the Delhi Sultanate a go. Jump on an alternate account. Anyone can do it, of course. That's why we get so many Smurfs or alternate accounts. Anyway, let's get to it because we got ourselves a fun matchup. We got the Byzantines, obviously one of the newest civilizations to Age of Empires 4, but they've obviously been around already for quite some time now. We've learned them, we've understood them. It's been about 6 months that we've had them, so people are pretty familiar with them. But one of the things to note, though, is that there's still development that's going on. They only just recently received a buff. I say recently, it was like the last month. On top of that, we also saw a tier list come out recently from one of the best players in the community, Beastie Cutie. If you missed that one, well, go search for it, AoE4 tier list, Beastie Cutie. And he talks about the Byzantines. In fact, he talks about the Byzantines a lot. He hypes them up. So I'm kind of curious to see exactly what our Chinese friend is going to have in store for us today, how well he's going to be looking to convert on those new changes to the Byzantines. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. At the same time, though, the Abbasid dynasty, a strong competitor as well. A lot of options open to them. Do you open with the military wing? Do you open with the eco wing? Or do you do something like Divine and he spots out the trading post in the corner of the map? I just know he's going to do trade. I know he's going to do trade. Divine is a sneaky kind of guy. But it looks like on the back side of the map, or the top side of the map, have a look at this. This is talk about a landmark rush. 8 villagers building the Grand Winery. He's got 4 villas on food, 1 villager on wood. I'm looking forward to seeing this game right now. This is not something I expected to see. He's rushing this Grand Winery up. So why might he be doing this? Well, he might be doing this because he wants to get access to these berries very, very, very quickly. And, well, technically you can access them before you age up, but obviously you're not going to get that huge blast of olive oil that you would otherwise get with the Grand Winery. So rushing it up, the sooner that it comes online, then that's going to mean the sooner that he can take advantage of that, the sooner he can move into his mercenaries, all that good stuff. So the age up now comes through 3 minutes and what, 15 seconds? It's like he's playing a Holy Roman Empire game right there. Very, very quick age up. Gets the 32 stone as well, so he can throw down the second assistant. We'll need to connect them though, and that's going to be a little bit tough. The normal rule for the Byzantines is don't ever make your cisterns or your aqueducts diagonal. No, I needed to finish that sentence. Don't ever make your aqueducts. Don't ever make your aqueducts diagonal. But you can do it around the Grand Winery, just because whenever you do put down olive groves, they don't care about the aqueducts. They're immune to aqueducts is probably the best way to... I don't know if that's the best way to say it. Anyway, they don't go against each other. Anyway, age up starting to come through. It is going to be the military wing for Divine here. Definitely not as speedy, as hasty as the Byzantines were on the north of the map. And it looks like a second town center is going to be coming along with it as well. 7 villages out to the stone, adding in the lumber camp. So we'll be looking to play aggressive, maybe looking to force his opponent off the gold. And at the same time, go for a second town center. Meanwhile, we do see the mercenary house now getting dropped down. This is a really interesting opening. I have never seen anything like this before. This is a very cool strategy to try and get those mercenary units out very, very quickly. I'm curious to see which direction he goes into, but I would suspect it's probably going to be into longbows. Though I have been surprised before. Longbows here makes the most sense, especially because I'm not sure whether he's scouted the military wing. Doesn't really look like it, so not 100%. But at the moment, as I said in the last video that I casted, I'm not up to date with the meta in 1v1, so maybe it's like 100% at this stage is just like only longbows. And it looks like it's going to be the worst Western mercenary contract. So it is going to be longbows. Did I say only longbows? Yeah, I meant only military wing. So, you know, normally it's like if you're playing against the English, right? Before this most recent patch, you don't even have to think about it. It's just gonna be the council hall. Whereas now you actually have to scout the English, like, oh, is it gonna be the council hall? What's it gonna be? Now, one thing to note is we've got a little bit of a weird choke point going on in the middle. There is technically a pathway through, but you gotta take a little bit of a round. Oh my God, you gotta take a detour and a half to get there. Jeez Louise. I've missed Lipany. Lipany, you always give us the silliest spawns. You know, and that's one of the things I kind of like about Lipany. Is that, you know, you think of Dry Arabia, and never once do you have a bad spawn on Dry Arabia. I mean, you can have bad spawns, but you never once have a terrible, unplayable spawn like you do right now with this. I mean, this isn't really unplayable. It just makes rushing a lot harder. All of a sudden, it means that your military units are kind of useless. And it's interesting seeing Divine go for the military wing here, but not look to do anything with them. I wonder what this is all about. Was he fearful that maybe there'd be Keshiks coming out and just wanted the spears to help defend? To make sure that the second town center gets up? Because if he was planning on attacking with them, I'm sure he would have attacked with them, which leads me to the next question, which is why not just go for the eco wing? Why not go for the culture wing? Why go for something that you're not really going to use versus something that you are definitely going to use? I'm curious to see what he does with this and how he goes about this game. Second TC about to come up here. Not a bad little timing. Immediately throws down double archery range. Probably going to avoid going into camels. Camels typically don't match up very well against longbows just because of their big range. Very, very good at sniping them out. Whereas archers are going to be very good against longbows. Just your standard archer. Mainly because as long as you outnumber them, or at least have got like... I think you want to always outnumber them. As long as you outnumber them, you can just catch up to them, get on top of them, and then just absolutely rinse them. Meanwhile, on the north of the map though, we do start to see the horsemen making their way down as that, right as the Golden Age comes through from the House of Wisdom. Outpost comes up on the top side as well. Wants to defend in from this position. Obviously very aware of the threat of longbows, but now making their way down. We're right on board with Divine, as it looks like he has taken out the enemy scout. He's also going to be sending his scout out into the middle of the map. The only issue is, it's almost like playing on... Do you guys remember? Ooh, that was a close call. Look at that. It's not the pit. What was that map? The Hidden Valley? I think Hidden Valley. God, that was a terrible map, wasn't it? And it's almost like you're playing that, right? There's a giant blob in the middle that you just got to kind of walk around and you don't get to see the other side of. 4 horsemen now out on the field. 5th one about to join them. Also looking to throw in the Lamentinai as well. The Rax has indeed been thrown down back at home. A little bit of a farming economy. The New English, that's what they've been calling them. They've got longbows. They've got beautiful farms at home. They're cheaper, more effective than other civilizations. And now have a look at this. A little bit of an attempt at a wall down here. Divine, unfortunately, he's going to get caught out of position. Loses out one villager. Might lose a second one. Indeed, he does. And the Byzantine player looks to put on early pressure. Keep in mind that there's extra fire armor on this mining camp. Despite that, it has still gone down. Lamentinai numbers starting to build as well. He's looking to put on a lot of pressure here. I feel like I am very much watching a pseudo-English. Look, there's 10 longbows now coming out. Jeez, that's kind of crazy, hey? Like when you think about it, how much value he was able to get out of this landmark. You know, typically this landmark, I was kind of like, it's not really that good. You know, it's all right, but the Hippodrome's kind of where it's at. Hippodrome got nerfed. This is Grand Winery, man. Like, I love this opening. That totally makes sense as well. Kind of wild that we never found that. Like, I was definitely looking for options in the opening for the Byzantines. I never actually found that one. We definitely rushed landmarks, but nothing like that. That was kind of crazy. I'm impressed. All right, the upgrades continue. Hardened now coming through for those. I think it's the spearman upgrades now come through. He's looking to get +1 ranged attack as well. Divine's going to be careful here. He's aware of his opponent's position. Villager's about to get taken out. There we go. Fortunately, pulls them back right before the longbow comes in. Outpost has got the fortification as well. Vil's moving up towards the top side, looking to gather a little bit of gold. He's got the gold on the back side, which he was working on, but now looks like a little bit of a dive underneath the town center. One Vil's gone down. Second Vil's going to go down right there. Total of 4 Vils taken out this game already in favor of the Byzantine player. But despite that, the villager lead continues for Divine. Now, keep in mind, he's also got fresh food stuff. fresh foodstuffs that has already been taken. And he's also got that gold on the front, but obviously can't really do anything with that at the moment. He's being harassed by a wolf. Has fortunately managed to sort himself out there. But the archer number is now starting to build, and this is exactly what he wants. The only thing is, though, is that his opponent's got a very decent number of horsemen. Let's check in with his opponent and see how he's doing. As at the moment, it's just really he's sticking to one base. No villages on stone whatsoever. He's just using the passive stone that generates as you build, as you construct buildings. Let's go with that. It's better than build buildings. As you build buildings, your buildings of yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. As you construct buildings, you're obviously getting passive stone depending on the size, the footprint of that building. So you build something as big as a blacksmith, you get 32 stone. Something as small as a farm, you get 8. Though I think, did they change it? It might be, I think it's different now. Is it 8? Or is it 10? Let's have a look and see. I think it used to be 8. Yeah, it's still 8. There was a balance change. Remember when they like buffed all the Byzantines? And look, I probably shouldn't mention it. Because I mean, yeah. Anyway, they were also going to buff that, and we were just like, please don't buff that as well. They were going to make it from like 8 to 10 and 32 to 40. Like, no, they don't need any more help, my friend. They are well and truly doing all right for themselves. But have a look at this army now that's starting to build up here on the top side of the Byzantine, or of the Abbasid base. This is looking very, very fearsome. Up to 25 archers now for Divine, 15 longbows for the Chinese opponent. Now have a look at this. It's 15 longbows with another set in queue. This is kind of wild just how many longbows he's got in production. Like, it's actually kind of ludicrous when you think about it. We're 11 minutes into this game, almost 12 minutes into this game, and the man's made 20 longbows. Like, that's just wild to me. They're not free. Obviously, you pay for them, but the olive oil comes out of thin air. I mean, it doesn't come out of thin air. It comes out of the berry bushes. But still, you guys get the picture, right? Like any other civ, they're just like, yeah, we've just got some food from the berries. Not the Byzantines. Man, that is absolutely wild. And I think, you know, I kind of understand where Beastie's coming from when he talks about things like the Byzantines just being absolutely cracked. These numbers are ludicrous. Now, obviously, Divine's on 2 town centers, right? Which naturally means he's going to be a little bit slower to get up to speed with his opponent when it comes to production. But we do start to see production numbers for him increasing. He's up to 30 archers at the moment. The only thing to note, though, is the Byzantines have got 14 horsemen. All he's doing is he's just making... Oh, no. Warwick the Wolf gets his first victim. Just put the W on there. You know, the Iranians, the Persians, they have trouble saying V. They always say W. Victory? The victory. Is that, or is it the other way around? I think it's the other way around. They'd be like, wanker? They'd say vanker. Yeah, it's the other way around. It's the other way. I've got an Iranian friend, and I'm thinking to myself, how does he say those words? There you go. Oh, gosh. Should I shout him out right now? No, I'm not going to shout him out. I'm not going to shout him out. He knows who he is. He knows who he is. All right. Well, the pressure continues to build here. The Byzantines doing work with their push. Longbow numbers have risen up to 20 now, and they're on the field. Still got almost got enough for the next match as well. House under pressure. The numbers continue to build. Spearmen up to 9. 39 archers, which is exactly what you want in this situation. Now the town center's under pressure. It's going to start really... Look at how quick it's going down, man. Dude, did they buff... And did I forget about it? Did they buff the Carusophons? Man, these... Like, the vills aren't getting pulled. Like, that town center's going down. There's no discussion about it. I feel like 2 battering rams would not have killed that anywhere near as fast. I feel like that was like a 4... Like, the equivalent of, like, 4 battering rams. That's how fast it killed that. Is it just me, or did that seem kind of wild? I don't even know how to compare this, right? Like, 10 Greek fire damage, 28 burst attacks, with an... this is just... You might as well just be in Spanish. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see. I wonder if he pulls a Vil forward to heal the Chirosophon. That would be a next level strategy. Speaking of next level, have a look at this. Look at the amount of farms that he's got down here. This is kind of wild, man. Watching a civilization make as many farms as the English, yet not be the English, but still make longbows like the English. Almost as many longbows as the English at this stage. All right, well, Slowly and steadily working down the landmark. This could be a bit of an issue. Now, one thing to note, and this is like a total meme. I actually brought this up with the devs, and I'm like, I don't think this is balanced. You can repair the House of Wisdom for free. Like right now, you could just bring like 7 vills up here and just start repairing the House of Wisdom for free. Any other building, it would take wood or stone, depending on what type of building it is. But the House of Wisdom, it's for free. And so you could literally just get free, like, you could cancel this out. Now, obviously, your villagers should be gathering at the same time, or at the time that they're repairing, but you get the idea, right? Like, you're not draining. Which is essentially the idea. Age up now comes through from the Byzantines. Manages to find an age up despite the aggression. Hierosophonts just going to be sacrificed here, saying, take my Hierosophonts, leave my army. Smart move. Whether that's going to be the strategy, though, that Divine goes for here. Lamentai going to be moving forward, wants to try and keep the longbows alive. Veterancy comes through right on time. Looking for veterancy on the other units as well. He's also got the horsemen as well as the Lamentai coming through now. Teeing off towards those archers. Numbers are pretty decent here. Needs to make sure he picks off the spears before those archers, though. Very, very important. He's got the horsemen here. Now with the veteran upgrade, longbows need to start kiting backwards. You can see the horsemen are made there, well, right up here on the front, but the archers are going to try and push through here. And this is where the longbows need to start kiting. You should have started kiting already, longbows. You get going while the going's good. And now they start moving slowly and steadily back towards the Byzantine base. One of the things to note is there's a couple of defensive bonuses missing. Obviously, their villagers don't have bows. They don't have the extra attack speed from the English towers. So they're not as good as the OG English, but they're still pretty darn good. Still kiting back. 5 more longbows in queue. Horsemen also coming up the rear with the gear. Going to be the first one on the way through. +1 ranged armor. Immediately gets pincered. Pincered, skewered by the spearmen at such range, and now Varangian guards are out. +1 ranged armors through, which is going to mean that those archers only do a single damage. They're just going to be tickling, looking to pick up the reinforcement lines. Definitely a smart move here, as the majority of the longbows did get taken out in that fight. Now the Varangian guard on the front. You can see suffering when it comes to the numbers here. They're going to try and deal effectively with the front line, but the reality is there's just too many archers here. Also, at the same time, oh, I just realized we got longbows coming through from the Golden Horn Tower. He's got level 3 on the system at the moment. Really nice timing here by Divine. Also got the villager advantage. He's going to be looking for a castle age behind this. Varangian guard number is building up a little bit too high, a little bit too far at this stage. Food still decent back here for our Byzantine player. And now I think at this stage, Divine's probably going to have to fall back, look to regroup. He did manage to keep the House of Wisdom alive. Looks like he's repaired it as well. And which direction does he go for the age up here? I think he'd probably go Culture Wing and then Imperial Age Eco Wing. I think that's probably how you do it here. But he's going to be struggling, like, yet to still click up at this stage. So it's not particularly easy. He's going to try and pick off some units as he falls back. But these Varangian Guard are very, very tough. One of the big mistakes that the Abbasid can make is during the transition period. So you want to click up. So he's going to go Eco Wing into Castle Age. I don't know if I agree with this. What does Eco Wing really give you here? It allows farm transition a little bit cheaper. I guess that's what it does. It also gives you agriculture. Not a huge amount though. Whereas Culture Wing, I feel like Preservation of Knowledge would have been pretty decent. But you don't really want to wait for your upgrades, especially right now. You just kind of want to click up as soon as you can. So one of the big mistakes Abbasid players make when they're aging up is they don't make units. And often that'll mean that they have a lot of resources in the bank, like Divine does right now, but then they get taken advantage of in situations like this. So one of the things that they really need to focus on doing is just making trash while they're aging up until they age up, because they just need units on the field. And now focusing on these longbows, looking to take them out. A couple of Varangian guards going to peel off, look to start harassing villagers. Even some spearmen to deal with this would be absolutely fine. As long as the archers are taking out the longbows, you'll be okay. +2 ranged armor is through, though, so it's going to be a little bit harder to take them out. And now on the backside, the Varangian guards have met with a couple of spears. The upgrades have come through on the spears, so they do have the Phalanx upgrade. Not going to help out with their DPS when they're in these low numbers, but once the numbers start to increase, as we can see, Divine is starting to make units. 30 seconds until the age up comes through. You know he's waiting out those crossbows. He needs them so damn badly. He cannot come fast enough this Castle Age, but unfortunately he did lose quite a few villagers. And now we start to see plenty of villagers on gold over on this east side of the base. really struggling to keep his head above water. But the Varangian guards, their numbers, while they're high, a lot of them have got relatively low health, so we can look to pick them off. Age-up about to come through. Watch and see how many crossbows he puts in queue right now. He's almost got enough to go Imperial again. You can go for it. Go. Ghulam's crossbows. Let's go. Everybody, produce now. This is so typical of what you see with the Abbasid, and it's just a classic case of, you know, it's not bad macro or hard macro, but it's just a case of like, I want to make the good units, right? Like, I don't want to make more archers, but the truth is you just need to make something to fill the time of death, because something's going to be dying while you're aging up, and you just want to make sure it's not your Vils. 7 workers now taken down this game. We see another one now on the gold vein. He's going to be looking to break through on this backside. You can see how quickly the Hydrosophon will do it. Meanwhile, towards the front, more Varangian guards coming through. And it looks like he might realize that his opponent is out on resources somewhere else. You can see him attack moved into the corner. He suspects there could be a gold out here, and his suspicions are 100% right. He manages to find Vils in that west corner. I don't know whether Divine's going to pick it up. You can see he's already so distracted. Vils going to come forward, look to take out the Hydrosophon before any more damage can be done inside this base. A lot of units here. Vils being chased around. Meanwhile, towards that top side, it looks like all the gold Vils will be cleaned up. And now Divine's in a bit of trouble. He lost that second town center, and that was a win condition for him. Now, of course, he can still win the game, but it just makes it a lot harder after losing that second town center. So very well done by the Byzantine player to actually pick that one off when he did. Vils now going to be moving through. Just a nice... I like it. You know what? I don't want to really build that lumber camp anyway. I just want to look at it. I just want to think about what could have been. But the numbers are starting to build now. Have a look at this. You can feel them building here. Archers on the back. Veteran sees through. Crossbow numbers are pretty decent as well. This is where you've got to be careful as the Byzantines, because the swing can come fast from the Abbasid dynasty. They're famous for that explosion that we often see. But typically it is going to be with a second town center with 20 extra villagers in the tank. Oh, you hate to see it, don't you? You hate to see it. The fact that he lost the second town center, the fact that he's lost so many villagers, it is painful. But that's exactly why the Byzantines are so damn strong. They have the ability to exploit it. And have a look at this. Talk about exploits as more horsemen now come to arrive. Looks like they picked up Expilatores. A little bit of extra gold popping in underneath. Meanwhile, towards that top side, the Ghulams outrunning the longbows. Absolute chaos on the south side of the map. As once again, Divine is trying his best to hold on through these fights. Villagers getting taken out by the ravenous, berserking Varangian guards here. Look at the damage that's being done. Absolute chaos now. He's lost 31 workers. The Vil count starting to fall. He needs to drop a second TC. He needs to. He can't keep playing this game out with only one TC. It's just not going to happen. He's managed to survive. He's managed to keep himself alive from here. Now he needs to move into that second TC again. This is the time. Alternatively, he can look to go into his own cav and try and hit his opponent. It's going to be tough though if you do it with Ghulams. Ghulams just aren't fast enough, and you need to kill villagers. That's just it. You can't just be forcing your opponent off resources. You actually need to be killing villagers. So let's see how he looks to play it out. Whether he looks to add in that second TC, or whether he looks to go into cavalry. Because my fear is that if he stays one base... Oh, look at this. Very smart move here as well by the Byzantine player. Looking to open up the middle. Has done exactly that. Now has the ability to come through. Lanch Connector now going to be on the field as well. Watch out, Ghulams. There's a new boss in town. And they come wearing Ronald McDonald pants. Look at those beautiful yellow pants. Hello, Ronald. I've missed you. Even when you're not wearing your red regalia, you're still my favorite. I still enjoy a double quarter pounder. I'm just kidding. I don't eat the double quarter pounders anymore. I used to eat the double quarter pounders anymore. Do we talk about McDonald's? Whoa, look at this aqueduct. We could talk about McDonald's, but there's so much water here. I feel like, you know, we probably don't want to talk about McDonald's when there's this much water. You ain't having water when you go to McDonald's, right? Was it the Donald Trump? No, it wasn't the Donald Trump. I just remember somebody getting like a double quarter pounder with a large fries, or like a supersized fries, and they get like the Diet Coke. Man, come on, bro. Just get the shake. Just get the shake. It's so much better. All right, have we had enough of the McDonald's discourse? You know, I love McDonald's. I should stop. I should stop, but I can't stop. Ba-da-da-da-da. This guy, not loving it right now. Definitely not. He's going to go down to the villagers. Monks are out here as well. 3 relics already in the bag for our Byzantine player. He's got a 20 vil lead now. And I love the fact that he's just been on 1 TC this entire game. And I think this is part of what makes Byzantines such a... Obviously, we've talked about Byzantines and the fact you need a PhD to play them, which is true. But they're also quite simple in the fact that you don't need to go for a second TC, right? Like, all our Byzantine player has done this game, made units. That's it. Made units, and oh yeah, I guess I can age up at some point as well. That's all he's done. Nothing else. This guy's literally done nothing else. He's been on snooze this whole time. That's pretty much it. I guess he's done a little bit. You guys get the point though, right? Like, whenever there's a second TC, whenever you've got to think maybe I should put a second TC or a second TC is my win condition, now there becomes a gamble because does this second TC pay off? Whereas here as the Byzantines, there's never a question. It's kind of like the Ottomans, right? Like the second TC, I don't have to worry about the second TC. I just go 1 TC and I always win. That's the fun part, right? That's the fun part. 1 TC civs, they're kind of good. But now we got mangonel emplacements in the middle of the map as well. A little bit of a raid over towards that east side. Managed to find a couple of villages. Not a huge amount, though. Spears were fortunately positioned as they chase away more cavalry as it comes on through. Now, at this stage of the game, Divine doesn't look to have considered going into an additional town center. He said, you know what? We've already... Oh, gosh. I got a little bit scared there. I'm like, is he pulling vills? What's going on right now? Mangonel's on the back. Probably needs a couple more spears out for this, though. Mangonel in placement. Gonna get some decent value down here as well. Big shot off onto the front. Lench Connector and Varangian Guards able to take out the first of the rams. Emplacement on the outpost has been, I was gonna say verified, but fortified is probably a little bit better of a term. Repairs come in for the battering ram. Not repaired enough though. More Look at the mango emplacement, dude. It is absolutely destroying that backline. So much damage, dude. And that's the crazy part, right? It's only 7 damage. It gets the +2 from the, oh, that's going to be it. Divine just taps out. He says, Drongo, I can't do it. The Byzantines are too strong. And that's going to be it. That mangonel emplacement coming in clutch there at the end. But I tell you what, I don't think there was any real chance he was going to make it with a push like that. The Byzantines just felt way too strong. Anyway, go check him out. Links in the description. Go watch Divine over on Twitch. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.